What's up, everybody? We are back after being gone from a far, far galaxy.
We should have stayed gone.
What? What? Oh. Ah, it's nice to see you too. Jerk.
Let's go back on hiatus.
Oh, okay. Stuck in that quantum realm. Ready. Do this!
Alright, so let's see what's happened since the last time we were doing a show.
Finals is over.
Yeah. Warriors won, which we called 2 years ago.
I said they'd get sweep. I said they'd sweep the Cavs, and they did.
Yep. Then in the off-season, LeBron left the Cavs, which we all kind of figured.
Shocker.
He went to the Lakers, which was, one of those teams where everyone kind of, expected him to go. So since signing LeBron, the Lakers also picked up Rajon Rondo,
Lance Stevenson,
JaVale McGee. So they got a bunch of old people to go along with their young people to lose to the Warriors.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So LeBron went to the West. So he'll probably finish. Lakers, I'm assuming, will probably finish like 5th or 6th in the West.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with Skip Bayless. How he seriously thinks the Lakers will be an 8th seed and play the Warriors around. Like, I don't think so.
I could honestly see them being an 8th seed.
I was like, maybe
Their lineup doesn't scare me.
No,
outside of LeBron,
their lineup is really gonna come, or it's the team's success is gonna come to how quickly can they all gel. How quickly can the young players grow up with LeBron? We do know he makes players around him better, but the other issue they're going to run into is if Rondo's starting and Lonzo Ballsbury playing that monkey in the room, or elephant, LeVar Ball, he'll probably get all pissy about it.
And LeVar's already come out and said they're going to win multiple championships, LeBron and Lonzo together. I mean, are you surprised he would say something like that?
I'm not, but it's to the point now. Like before, it was cute. It's like, oh, okay, and now it's just like, okay, it
was always obnoxious and annoying.
This is getting annoying right now. This, the first two you kind of look past, and now it's like, okay, you're not even being realistic right now, LeVar.
Yeah, I mean, that's assuming Lonzo was even on the team after,
I still think they're gonna trade him.
Trade him or cut him.
Like, you don't tell me you sign a player with Rondo's experience and you're going to keep him and Lonzo. I just don't see how that would do.
I don't know who they would trade right now. I mean, there was talk about maybe trading Lonzo in a package deal for Kawhi, but that's out the window now.
Yeah, he's with the Raptors. I'm really confused about the Kawhi thing, though, because there was some reports, of course, he didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
And then there was another report, he's warming up to Toronto, and he wanted to go to the Lakers. There's another report that came out with that when the trade was all going down.
He said he's wanted to go to the Lakers for a while now.
But then he didn't want to go to a super team, supposedly, too.
I didn't hear that part of it.
So I'm like, okay, well, if you go to the Lakers, you're going to probably go to a super team. You're hoping to form one, so which is it?
Yeah, I didn't hear the super team comment. But yeah, I mean, we'll touch on that trade here in a second, but going back to the Lakers, this year is kind of a throwaway year for them because they're not going to compete with the Warriors. It's not going to happen. You try to think of the teams that they could beat. So, Warriors, no, they're not beating them.
They won't beat the Rockets.
They're not going to beat the Rockets.
They probably won't beat OKC.
That's Warriors, yeah. Or Oklahoma City, never mind.
The Thunder.
I don't know.
Depends. They could upset them because Russell Westbrook is so ball dominant.
Yeah, Carmelo's gone from the OKC now.
I heard there was a trade or something that Houston really wants.
Melo got traded to the Hawks.
Yes.
The Hawks are going to cut him. And so then he'll basically have free range to go to, and Houston's they consider the front runner, but he's also considering Miami.
Yep, I heard Miami's name in there too.
So, I mean, if you realistically, I think, and then the Spurs. I mean, they lose Kawhi, but they get DeRozan.
Oh man.
we'll see how motivated he is. But can they beat the Spurs? Can they beat the Pelicans? Pelicans probably more so since they lost Boogie.
Yeah, since they lost Boogie, they could at least give the Pelicans a run.
Yeah.
They could probably beat the Timberwolves.
Well,
possibly.
Timberwolves are such an underperformer. They really underperformed last year.
And it sounds like Jimmy V wants out of there.
Well, that's not surprising. But, I mean, with the talent they have, they should be a lot better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, with Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, I mean, they should be way better than they were.
They should.
So, I mean, yeah, you look at the teams, I mean, like I said, that's why I consider, LA will probably finish 5th or 6th, is my guess. And they maybe make it through one round of the playoffs and then they get bounced.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think they'll be just a one and done.
Which, I mean, in a way, I'm a little surprised LeBron went to the Lakers when, he knew that they had no one going this year. No one's going. Next year, there is a big free agency class.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of surprised he can just do another one-up deal in Cleveland.
And then leave.
Stay in a much easier conference. Maybe probably get to the finals again.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, you lose to the Warriors, but, I mean, you're now in the West, you're not even going to make it to the finals. So, at least you get to the finals. Then after that 1 year, then go to LA. Then you can get another star with you, like Kawhi, who's a free agent after this year. Bring him along. Unless he surprises everybody and does what Paul George did.
Yeah, re-signs with Toronto.
Yeah, because Paul George said Lakers.
Yeah.
Re-signing with the
Thunder, unfinished business.
Yeah, that surprised everybody. I don't think many people
I was
considered that.
shocked. I was for sure. I was like, didn't work out.
I guess something Paul George says, like, the Lakers didn't prove that they wanted me enough when they didn't even bother to trade for me. OKC did. They took a shot. They wanted me. So, I'm going to stay here. So now could maybe Kawhi think the same thing? It's like, Toronto wanted me. Toronto traded for me. The Lakers didn't think enough of me, apparently, to get money to try to get me. Now, I mean, that's a long shot that he would actually think that.
Exactly.
But, strange things have happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, anything's possible.
And like I said, Lakers got 5 or 6 seed being bounced, wasteful year. Next year, we'll look at, we'll see what happens. But, it's now going back to the Kawhi deal. Kawhi Leonard goes to Toronto, DeRozan goes to the Spurs. Neither player wanted to go to either location. No. The Raptors, interesting move for them. They're happy to get out of DeRozan's contract.
Yep.
But at the same time, you get 1 year with Kawhi.
You're rolling the dice with that.
Unless you could miraculously convince him to stay, which is a long shot. You traded a player who you had control over for 1 year with this guy who then leaves. And then now you're stuck with nothing.
The only good part, I guess, somewhat, if you want to try to salvage anything with the Toronto Spurs deal, is they at least get Danny Green, and he's a great role player. So, but I mean even then, that's just picking for dandelions.
The Spurs, I completely get what they did. To me, I think they came out very well in this because they got something, pretty good for a guy who had already said, "I'm done here. No way I'm re-signing here." So it's either trade him or let him leave and get nothing. So they did the smart move, and the market apparently wasn't that big for Kawhi because not a whole lot of teams were jumping in because they didn't want to give up a whole lot for a 1 year rental, basically.
I was gonna say
and
that was the
one team that they were really having serious conversations with, apparently the Lakers.
And they wanted the house.
Yeah, the Lakers didn't want to give up the big, enough pieces to get him. So Toronto comes in. I'm sure the Spurs like DeRozan. Okay, let's do it. So now the Spurs, you got DeRozan, Aldridge, Ginobili.
Ginobili, Parker went to the Hornets.
I don't know why Ginobili doesn't retire, but it's another conversation for another day. But then you still have Pop. So
got a good coach.
Yeah, they're not in no way competing with the top couple of teams in that conference.
I'm not.
They'll make the playoffs.
Oh, you think?
They'll make the playoffs. It's hard not to make the playoffs in the NBA.
That is true, yeah.
So many teams make it. It's more than 50% of the teams make it.
Yes.
So you have to try hard not to make the playoffs. So they will make the playoffs, but they are not going anywhere. They have no hope for a championship. None. Which really, this entire year, nobody really does outside the Warriors.
Yeah, let's be realistic. There's the possibility of anybody beating Golden State. It would a miracle. They would have to have just Curry would have to be out with like season-ending. They'd have to have season-ending injuries.
Barring any injuries.
Yeah.
The Warriors already have it wrapped up, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're already huge favorites.
Once again, I mean, why are we bothering with an NBA regular season? I get the East, like, all right, let's see who's going to, play to represent the East to lose to the Warriors in the
probably
finals.
Get swept. Yeah.
So, I mean, once again, like, when are we ever going to have a meaningful regular season in the NBA again?
I don't think we ever will now, because with the thing when LeBron went to Miami, that was the start of super teams, but definitely...
No. The start of super teams was Garnett, Pierce, and Allen in Boston.
Yeah.
That was the original big three super team.
Well, I guess if you really want to get technical, it was when Peyton and Malone and all them went to the Lakers.
No, because they were old. They knew that was their last-ditch effort to try to get a championship. Allen, Pierce, and Garnett, they were all still in their prime when they got together.
Yeah, but, I mean, too, after... When they went there really wasn't... Okay, well, when they went to Boston, you didn't really see any other teams that are like, hey, we have to get... And besides Miami down the road, they're winning the other teams like, hey, we got to get all these teams together.
I mean, that was the start of it. But, yeah, when LeBron, Chris Bosh teamed with Dwayne Wade, that really made it kind of explode. Like, oh, well, now everyone has to have these big super teams, which... And the crazy thing is, I mean, outside of, the Warriors, outside of, Durant and now Boogie Cousins, they drafted Curry, Thompson, and Draymond.
Right, so you can't really say in a way they did the super team, but with them getting...
Durant, they did. And
KD and Boogie?
Well, and Boogie, apparently no other team called him.
I find...
So Boogie calls the Warriors and says, hey, I want to go to your team. They're like, okay. Why not? Hey, if you're coming to us and apparently no other team is offering anything, sure. We'll take a chance. 1-year deal.
Well, too, and then if he doesn't work out, because he has history of being a hothead. So I'm interested to see how that works.
That's the thing for him is this is his opportunity to prove himself. He can, he can show what kind of team player he can be. So if you are dysfunction to the Warriors, they will get rid of you really fast. Like, hey, we don't need you.
It's like chump
we
change.
Can just get rid of you, and we're going to be fine.
Yeah. They'd already would have enough.
And then now, another kind of thing floating out there is Durant and LeBron have been talking about joining up in LA. Durant did re-up with the Warriors, but player option after the first year, which apparently that is every deal that every NBA player signs
I was
now.
going to say, yeah, it includes a player option.
Yeah, it includes a player option, usually after the first year.
Yep.
So I was like, hey, I'm only going to guarantee you 1 year, and then I'm probably going to opt out to see where some other players go, and then I might just team up with them. I mean, I just hate the way the NBA is going with that. There's no parity. None.
No, there won't be any parity, and then, because now with KD going, when KD went to Golden State, right away you knew that the NBA was going to then now consist of legitimate super teams getting together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's all it is now is players kind of getting together in the office like, hey, where are you going? Do you want to team up here? Do you want to go here?
Yep.
And like the owners of the NBA, they can do nothing about it.
No.
It's free agency. They can do whatever they want. The owners just have to hope that they're one of the teams that these people want to go to.
Yeah, I was going to say, yep.
Which, I've said it many times. Cleveland now, Milwaukee, Toronto, Phoenix, Charlotte, Portland. These teams, these are not places people are like, hey, do you want to go to Milwaukee? No.
They got the Greek freak, but that's the only market.
Oh yeah, but they drafted him. I'm like, okay, well, I think he's a free agent after this year.
Yeah, he gonna be gone.
Oh, yep. He's gone then. Milwaukee's a lottery team again.
Yep.
So, yeah, you have all these different locations. Nobody wants to go to. Nobody wants to go to Toronto. Nobody wants to go to Portland. I mean, how is it that, God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Portland.
Damian Lillard?
Yeah, how has he not gotten anybody up there to help him?
The only player he has is C.J. McCollum.
He is a legit superstar, and he is going to leave eventually. Yep. He's going to go to a different team because they can't get anyone to come up there with him.
Well, there was a lot of talks when... I don't know when this contract is up, but there were some talks that Lillard possibly going to L.A. next year or whatever. And I'm like, well, again, that's a small market team. He has no shot of a ring.
Yeah. So it's like you have all these teams, but really every year there's 2, 3, maybe 4 teams that have a sort of shot. So all these other teams are just, I've said before, are just kind of filler to, fill in this regular season, but none of them matter because they're never, ever going to win.
Right. I agree with you 100%, and it's sad that that's where the NBA has become.
Yeah, and I don't understand how people are even fans or go to these games. As a okay, if I was a fan of the Milwaukee Bucks, why am I going to watch their game? They're not getting to the finals. It's not going to happen. Why am I going to pay money to watch this? Which I don't get. Unfortunately, the only way the NBA is going to change is once these people stop paying to go see these teams that have no shot. I mean, yeah, LA is going to be a draw.
Always.
Golden State's going to be a draw.
Yep.
Boston is kind of resurgent to be a draw. Philly, yeah. But if you're a fan of the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh gosh, or the New York Knicks nowadays.
Yeah, or Charlotte Hornets, Orlando Magic. Why are you going to these games? Why are you paying money to go to these games? I don't understand it. Why? And if you want your team to have a legit shot of ever winning again, you have to start saying, I'm not going to spend money to go to these games. Because once they start losing money, that's the only way anything's ever going to change.
Yep.
Right now, their ratings are up. They're still making a ton of money. They're not going to change anything.
No. They're like, we're just going to coast this as long as we can.
And, the NBA, don't kid yourself. The players run that league.
Oh, 100%. It's all players. The owners are just figureheads.
Yeah,
they're just there to say, I'm the owner of the team.
The commissioner is just kind of there. He's basically there to say, okay, players, what do you want? Okay, I'll let the owners know that's what we're going to do. And that's basically it.
That's exactly what it is. And it's... people nowadays, they talk about loyalty, but... they got to understand, to a lot of players... Some NBA players' dreams is to win a championship. That's a lot of their milestones.
To me, it's not even about the loyalty thing. Obviously you'd love to see players stick with one organization.
Retire for one team.
And that's a pipe dream now. It's never going to happen in the NBA.
No, you just have to be realistic.
Kobe was the last of it.
Right. Kobe...
Well, maybe Curry. We'll see what happens when he gets older.
Yeah.
If he wants to then, branch out to a different team. We'll see. But, otherwise, Kobe was the last of it. And even that was sketchy. There was times where he was demanding a trade, and you thought he might actually go to Chicago.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Everybody says Kobe was so loyal. I was like, okay, he might have been loyal, but then if he was so loyal, why in his career did he want trades and make it known that he wanted to leave L.A.?
Yeah, and there was a couple of times where that came up, and that was make clear he wanted to trade, but nothing ever came of it.
No.
So like I said, to me, it's not even so much about the loyalty. It's just what's even good for the game. How is only having 3 or 4 teams every year have legit shot good for the game?
I wish they would just. It would be easier if they just would switch up the playoffs and maybe. I don't know, because is there a way they could switch out the conferences or something?
You reseed. You still are going to only have 4 teams. It's still going to be
there'd just be less Eastern teams, probably.
Yeah, you just take the 8, whatever, reseed into just 16 teams. It's still you're still going to end up with the same couple of teams.
Yep.
It's not going to matter. The problem is that you have all these teams at the bottom that are never going to do anything. Like the Milwaukee Bucks, the best they're ever going to do is make it to the playoffs and they get bounced early on. It's the best they're going to do. Same with the Raptors. Same with the Trailblazers. The Hornets can't even make it to the playoffs. the Magic, they've been nothing since Shaq
Penny.
left.
Penny.
So, I mean, you have all these teams that are nothing, and they're never going to be anything unless you happen to be like Cleveland, who has this kid that grew up in that area that's such a great player that he's able to have some sort of loyalty and at least want to get you a championship, and then guess what? He's going to bounce later. But still, you at least got a championship because he was from your area. So unless Toronto has an all-time great player,
Coming
young
out
right
of
there,
Canada.
comes there, he's like, I want to go to Canada to bring home a championship.
Yeah.
You're not getting a championship, I'm sorry to say.
No.
So, I mean...
And, I mean, you kind of, we're going back to the loyalty thing a little bit. And I've talked to quite a few people, around the city here, and they're just so mad at LeBron. They're like, oh, he's so selfish, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what more do you want him to do in Cleveland? He played half of his career there when he first was there. Got him to the playoffs when he was pretty much a rookie. And then he left. Okay. Big deal. Goes to Miami. Okay. Gets rings in Miami, alright. But he goes back to Cleveland, wins them a title that Cleveland hasn't had a title in, since the Stone Age in professional sports. And then you're mad at him for leaving again. But I've talked to some people where they say, what more does he have to do in Cleveland?
Well, I mean, yeah, he got him a championship. Him and Dan Gilbert never really...
No. After the Miami thing...
Yeah, they never really got along. No. There's always been that sort of tension there.
Yep.
So, I mean, everyone saw this coming. There was made no secret that, he is leaving Cleveland. You know this, right? He's gone. Everybody knew that. I wasn't shocked that he left. Not at all. He was going to leave. And then, that was kind of, funny. He didn't... At no point did anyone talk to Luke Walton when they came to signing. He just kind of just forgotten, pushed aside. So then, kind of comes out, Luke Walton calls Tyronn Lue and says, hey, how do you coach LeBron?
Yep.
Not really sure what happened in that conversation, but I'm sure, jokingly, Tyronn Lue probably said, you're not the coach anymore.
Yeah.
Just...
He's the coach. You're just there.
You say... say, Mr. LeBron, is this what you... Mr. James, is it okay? Is this okay if we do this?
Yep.
And then you're going to, coast your way and to get a, championship ring as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And just enjoy the ride. Don't do anything to piss off LeBron, basically. Just make sure you stay on his good side, and that way you will remain the coach, and you will enjoy the benefits of it once Kawhi eventually goes there, and they bring a bunch of other stars, and they become the super team and win a championship. That's what it comes down to.
That's what it is. I mean, I'm sure people don't like to admit that, but that's
I think
how it is.
The next time you're probably going to see any sort of parity in the NBA is probably when LeBron retires.
I was going to say probably when he leaves.
And then, so once these players start to retire, then maybe we'll see what happens. But.
Yeah, then we'll really see what, once LeBron leaves and Curry's and Durant's and all them get up in age and the Russell Westbrooks, all that fun stuff.
But actually, you talk about loyalty, Westbrook is kind of that.
Yeah. I mean,
he kind of put himself in a corner because he just destroyed KD when he left.
Yeah.
So
if he left,
he would just be considered this huge hypocrite. So he had basically no choice but to kind of stay there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a little different for Russell's situation.
Yeah. But so next season it's going to be a pointless regular season. Warriors are going to win the championship again, barring any injury. So now I'm not too excited about next year.
I mean, I'll probably follow it.
I'll probably follow it on an app. What were the scores today? Okay, I'm not going to make any time to really watch many games.
Probably I'll watch the Timberwolves if they're on. I want to watch the Lakers if they're on TV. I'm just intrigued to see what type of lineup they'll have and how will they look. That's my thing. I want to see how this new kind of look LA team is going to look this year.
Like I said, this is a 1-year thing. Next year, they're going to look completely different.
So, but my question is, do you think? I think they'll hold on to Kuzma because I think he's got a lot. I think they'll keep Josh Hart from Villanova.
I think that's kind of the thing that held with the Kawhi deal was I'm sure the Spurs wanted Kuzma and the Lakers were like no.
They wanted the house, and from what I got, they asked for so many teams in the West to give them so much because they did not want Kawhi to stay in the West.
Makes sense.
And the big deal they wanted from LA is they wanted Ingram, they wanted Kuzma, they wanted Josh Hart, and they wanted first round and second round picks from for this year's draft coming up and the next one.
Notice how they didn't want Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, shocker. No Lonzo in that package deal.
We want your good players. You want Lonzo? No. Maybe that's what the manager's like. We'll give you all that, but you have to take Lonzo too. And this first one,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What if that was what it was, though? What if,
that would be hilarious.
What if he was mentioned and they just said no?
No, we're gonna pass right now.
So, I mean, I'm just saying. It makes it interesting. I'm just saying. And then too, with the LeBron thing going back to it, everybody's mad, but for the first time in his career, he's said, quote unquote, he's in it for the long haul, and this was the first year he's gone to someplace.
Hey, he's not necessarily in it for the long haul. He only signed a 4-year deal with an option after the third year.
Well, right.
So even then, he still has his outs.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I mean, he might, after 3 years, he might not like where it's going. He's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going somewhere else.
Either he goes somewhere else or he retires.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Cleveland's going to take him back.
So now, if the Lakers somehow they don't win a championship with LeBron, how big of a failure is this? I mean, it has to be massive. I mean, the hype around it is so massive. So if they don't win a championship...
Yeah, if they don't win a title one of the years that LeBron's... I don't expect one this year, but possibly next year and the year after that with the free agent class that's coming this year.
And it would be a massive failure.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wouldn't look good for Magic.
I mean, I think it would be funny, but it would be a massive failure if they don't win a championship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people are already talking about, we're going to get, at least 2 out of this. They're painting a mural, they've had a mural painted of him with the other greats. It's like, ooh, son,
yeah.
You realize he hasn't won a championship yet. You want to back off. I mean, and even if, say he wins 2 championships in LA, just say 2.
Spitballing.
Is he considered one of the great Lakers? Because to me, even if he wins 2 championships, if I look back on his career, I'm probably not going to think of him as a Laker. It's still going to be a Cav or maybe Heat.
I think if he keeps playing at the level that he played at this year in this whole career, and especially this year in this 15th season, if he plays like this level in his next 3 or 4 years, because he'd be his 18th or whatever year in the league, some people might make the argument, but I don't know. I mean, I get offended because some people don't even mention Wilt Chamberlain as one of the best Lakers. I mean, he still has...
Okay, whoever did that, they're idiots. They know
he's still got records that stand the day with Wilt Chamberlain.
If someone's talking about the greatest Lakers of all time, they don't mention Wilt, they don't know what they're talking about.
Skip Bayless.
He doesn't know what he's talking about then. How do you not?
That's what I'm saying.
And one of the greatest Lakers of all time. How? I don't.
He should be at least in the top 2 in my opinion.
Yeah.
At least top 2.
Magic, Wilt, Kareem, Kobe, Jerry West.
Jerry West? You can do Jerry West, yeah.
He's the logo.
I mean,
there's a lot there, but if you don't have that makes no sense to me. If you don't have him, and say he wins 2. He's still way behind what all the other greats in LA did.
Yeah.
He's well behind the 5 or 6 that Kobe won for them. He's still behind sort of that, Magic won for them. Wilt won for them. So.
I think I think in order for some people to put him in the conversation as the Lakers, he'd have to win.
He had to 4 for 4.
I was going to say he'd have to go either 4 for 4 or win the next 3 years he's there. Because they won't win this year. There's no way.
No.
There's no way. They won't get out of the... They won't... There's too many other good teams they'll face in the playoffs and in the regular season in the West.
And the Warriors are still there.
And the Warriors are still there. Unless they have just a huge injury problem.
I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even if Kawhi goes to LA, if the Warriors stay as currently constructed, I still pick the Warriors above LA.
It would literally, if they get Kawhi next year, like I said, it's going to depend on what type of maturity levels their young players can show in these next 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if the Warriors stay together, like I said, if Durant leaves and goes to LA, it's a wrap. Lakers basically taking the Warriors' place as
LeBron and KD
they're
on the
win.
same team.
Yeah, it's not even. Again, there's no point. There's no point to the regular season.
That wouldn't be fair.
Give them the Larry O'Brien trophy. Let's call it good and move on. Woo! So yeah, that's NBA just bugs me right now, but they're still making a ton of money. They're not going to change anything.
No,
not going to happen.
No.
But yeah, that's I think that's all we got for today.
Next episode will be training camp because it starts this week.
Yep.
Well, for all the other things, I think the 2 teams that are playing in the Hall of Fame game that started last week.
Yeah. So, yeah, getting very close to football season.
Finally.
Yep. This is the last month without any start football games.
Mm-hmm.
And next month is when it starts. Granted, it's preseason, and those don't matter because no stars play.
No, it's preseason's literally just a chance to see what the rookies will look like finally, or players that are literally trying to make the team.
Yeah. So season comes to that. Baseball season kind of over the halfway mark now.
Yeah.
Get the races, see what happens from there. Otherwise, that's all we got. Everyone have a good night.